took some trainers, just splashed them around to waste them.
Right.
I went, oh.
Yeah, someone goes, what'd you do that for? Well, because you're not making any money now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first time someone does that in that game, especially if you've played it before and they haven't. You're like, oh, they got it. Now we're going to play again, and it's going to be real nasty. What a wonderful game, isn't it? Oh, man. That's one of the there's been a lot of good games that have come out of the Winsome Games studio, but that's one that is way underrated.
If I was to make a top 1 underrated list, that'd be it. Really? Yeah, I don't even know what it's rated on BGG, but it's not high enough.
Oh I'm going to look while we're talking about some other things here. With the Medici reprint, did you guys stretch goal anything on that?
It was all to make the game better components and better quality.
Okay.
Because as if that's it. It wasn't. There's no extra bonus content or expansions or anything like that.
And were all those upgrades, are those available in all the editions?
Yeah, at least. I'm not going to promise beyond the first print run.
Sure.
Because it made it very expensive. But if you get a game through the Kickstarter or the first however long in print, it will have everything in it.
Gotcha. While I asked you that question, Paris Connection is ranked 1075.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I know. And it's, for what it's worth, this is a game that I picked this up on Amazon for, $26, like middle of last year. They were basically giving this game away at one point in time. It just wasn't selling. It had a very high MSRP, I think, was the problem. And people didn't, like a 30-minute game for $60, but now it's selling for, there's one copy available in America on the BGG marketplace for $45. So.
Okay, I'm telling you, you put that game in a smaller box, like Seven Wonders dual size.
Yeah.
Or, the 2-player Uwe Rosenberg size.
Yep.
Boom.
Well, and you could use cardboard tokens instead of the trains to bring that price way down.
Yeah.
And then you could print maps for it. Well, get the rights to that and do that, okay? Because I'd buy the junk out of multiple maps for that game. I know the Winsome version has them, but.
Oh, does it? Oh,
yeah, because it was my French pronunciation will be very, very bad, but Société Nationale des Chemins de Fer Franche. That really bad French pronunciation. I'm sorry, but yeah, SNCF.
I think is that National Society of Steam Trains or something?
Probably. It was released in 2010 by Winsome Games, and Queen has that, and they just published it. So I guess it'll probably be some time before the rights become available for that one. But get on that.
Okay.
So what do you have coming up next? I don't think we've seen a Kickstarter from you since Medici. So what do we have coming up in the near future from Grail Games?
Thank you for asking.
That's why I'm here.
In the next couple of weeks, there'll be another. So game number 6 in the Mike line, which is the small card games.
Sure.
Will be on Kickstarter. It's called Catbox. It's by Aza Chen out of Taiwan.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard or knew or anything, but last year IDW Kickstarter for Cat Tower, which is by the same designer.
Yeah, Cat Tower. Yep. So
this is Catbox. It's sort of a simple card game, and I guess you'd call it a deduction-y, bluffy thing.
Okay.
So you've got a secret identity, which is basically you get a cat, so a color of a cat or maybe a chihuahua, and you're trying to score for your cat without giving away to the other players what your cat is, because if they know what color your cat is, they're going to try and block you, and they can block you very easily. So if you're, say, the pink cat, you win if you got a lot of points out, but if you're the chihuahua, you win by having through other things. And it's very simple, very clever. I'll show you the cover, not that the listeners can see it. So it's
adorable.
Taiwanese.
It is very very Taiwanese. I like that. So you're going to do a Kickstarter for that soon, and when is the game actually going to be available?
Oh, I've forgotten now.
This year?
Maybe October-y.
Okay.
That's a new month.
Yeah.
So
October, perfect. It's my favorite. It's right at the end of October and right before November. Very short.
yeah.
Are you designing anything?
Okay, so after Catbox, there'll be Guns and Steel Renaissance. That hasn't finished. Not quite sure yet how that's going to work. But if I do a Kickstarter for that, it will just be Australia and New Zealand, unfortunately.
Sure. Okay.
Because the other companies will do their thing. But after that, I have news to tell you. So there'll be...
Please say Ra the Dice Game. Please say Ra the Dice Game.
You know how we were talking about Knizia and we were talking about games where the rules are really short, but there's a lot behind the scenes going on when you play?
Yes.
So I've got a game coming out that is not Ra the Dice Game. That's
You play with my emotions.
It was called Imperium. It's going to be called something else, and it's going to have a different setting applied to it. But that's just a hidden gem in Rainer Knizia's back catalogue. It's just, the moment I played that game, this is brilliant. For me, it was like a Paris Connection moment. It was just astounding. And the reason why people don't know about it is because the only other edition of it was a GMT edition.
Oh, really?
And they put it in with two other games. It was a 3-in-1 thing. It was like 504, but it was just 3, right? So,
significantly less games.
Yeah. But they were all great games. And it got a bit lost. I think it was 2001. And it's just brilliant. It's just brilliant.
I think you tweeted about that to me one day, and I was like, news to me, hadn't heard of it.
If I wasn't publishing it, I'd tell everyone you've got to find a copy of that game. But now you can just wait, and it will just wait. But so that's coming out. There's also the next 2 Mike card games. I know what they are. It's just when they're going to come out, I don't know.
Okay.
One is a Japanese design, and one's by me.
Okay, fantastic. So you're staying very busy with Grail Games this year. And coming in the year after.
Yeah, there's more, but I'm not ready to talk about it yet because I like to be secret.
That's it. No, that's okay. You can't divulge all your secrets, but when you do get the rights to Ra the Dice Game, I expect to know first.
Oh, okay.
Because I love that game, and I did see that. Oh, it's not Fantasy Flight, but it's the subsidy of Asmodee, the new company that's going to be printing Ra, and I was like, damn, that means you're not getting Ra, because that would be that's a home run for whoever prints that one. That's like printing money.
I asked for Ra.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
We'll have to have a chat with the doctor about why he chose not to give that to you. If you could arrange that meeting, that'd be great.
Look, anyone from Fantasy Flight, I'll take them on. I will, like, you give us a ring and I'm off. No, I'm not. No, I don't even hurt ants. Don't worry about that.
So before we wrap things up here, how can folks get in touch with you to keep abreast of all your Kickstarter nuttiness and the things that you have coming out? I know I follow you on Twitter, but tell the folks how they can do that and any websites you might be on where they can cyberstalk you relentlessly.
Twitter is Twitter. Well, so on Twitter, you search for Grail Games. Okay.
Easy enough.
Okay, great, done. Facebook is the same. What else is there? So on Board Game Geek, if you I said bother me, but I didn't mean that. If you want to talk to me, my username is Huffa2, HUFFA2.
Right.
On the internet, like the general internet, where there's websites.
I've heard about that place. It's mystical.
It's pretty weird, but anyway, what the website is called www, which stands for World Wide Web, Grail hyphen, we call it a hyphen. I don't know what you call it.
No, hyphen. That's hyphen or dash. Okay, we'll make sure our folks in European friends know.
Grail-games.com.
Okay.
And you can go there and you can subscribe to our newsletter. but that's like, it's very rare, maybe once every month or two. It's not like you get inundated with junk.
That's fine. So folks can get all the information there about these upcoming Kickstarters you've got.
Yeah, and I've got huge news.
Okay.
I'm going to come to America.
You are?
I'm going to be at Gen Con, and that's where Medici will launch, as long as the shipping gets it there in time. So hope to see someone.
I wasn't going to go, but I might have to make the trip. If you're making the trip to Indianapolis, I believe that I can make the 4-hour trip to Indianapolis.
4 hours, gosh.
It's going to take you 4 hours to get on the airplane.
4 days, I think, is estimated.
That's going to be...
Anyway.
Okay, well, that's awesome. I'm glad you're going to get a chance to come over here and actually... you going to have a whole Grail Games booth, or are you occupying part of a booth with someone else, or are you just coming to visit?
For me, yeah, I wasn't actually going to come, which... That's terrible, but there's another sort of, my Australian distributor is going to have a booth there, and so I'm going to share with them. But I think, unfortunately, or fortunately for me, it's slowly becoming just Grail Games, but I'm not in charge of it, so to speak.
Okay.
There.
Okay, cool. Well, that's... I'm stoked you have so much on the fires coming out, and we're looking forward to more stuff from you guys. Everybody that's listening, stay tuned, because we're going to do the review of Matcha and Circus Flohcati, not necessarily in that order. I haven't decided yet, because I'm recording this well in advance of doing those reviews. But David, as always, thank you for coming on the show. Welcome back, and we hope to see you again in the not too distant future when you can tell us more about your wonderful top secret projects.
Oh. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, buddy. Thanks. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Cardboard Insanity's Game of the Week. Do you know what time it is, Horsey?
What time is it?
It's Game of the Week time.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome.
I know. It's almost
excited.
like you could predict that this was going to happen. This very thing was going to happen. So for our Game of the Week this week, I think we gave this away earlier in the episode. Spoiler alert, is Circus Flohcati, the Reiner Knizia classical filler, brought back into publication by Grail Games.
Right.
Unfortunately, not designed by David Harding, but designed by a man whose design pedigree is a little better than David's.
Oh, well.
But David still got the chance to publish an awesome game that's been out of print for way too long. And I suppose one of the things that you can say about a game that's been out of print and sort of trying to determine its merit is what its price is. When a 15-minute filler game is selling online for $30 or $40, that should tell you that filler has something that's worthwhile, because people this long out of print are willing to pay that much money for a 15-minute game. So that should tell you you've got something pretty awesome that you're dealing with here.
It's pretty valuable.
So let's tell folks a little bit about this game. It's a very simple deck of cards. You have an 80-card deck, values 0 to 7 in 10 different colors. You also have 9 action cards. So basically you're going to shuffle up this deck right into one giant pile, and on your turn, you're going to flip cards from the top of the deck out into a central display. You can stop anytime you want, and then take any one of the cards that's been flipped, unless you flip an action card, at which point you do the action and that ends your turn.
Right.
Otherwise, you continue to flip cards until you want to stop. If you continue to flip cards, but you hit one that's already out there of the same color, so let's say I've got a yellow 1 on the table, I flip a couple more cards, and I hit the yellow 7, I bust. That card gets discarded. My turn ends. I get nothing.
Right.
So one of the other things you can do on your turn is to lay down a set of 3 cards of the same number.
Right.
And those sets are going to be worth 10 points at the end of the game. The game will end either when the deck is empty, which isn't very likely to happen. Usually what happens is one person will have 10 cards in their hand, at least, one from each of the 10 colors. Or suits, however you want to think of them. That person will call the gala event,
right,
and the game will finish. At that point, every set that you've played on the table is worth 10 points.